the incubator. Let's not remember how that Zoom call went, but the demo day, the demo day videos are already online, so you can watch them. Of course, heavily edited, but yeah. So if you want to apply to the incubator, it's open. Feel free to go to kleros.io/incubate. And in connection to the incubator, we are going to launch some education program of which I'm going to tell you a bit more, not now, but maybe this week or early next week, we will have some more information about that. So then another important thing is, well, we have been gathering from all of the different people who have been researching or building on KLEROS. We are writing a new article which is going to compile everything. Doing this with Jamilia and Abir, so I will let them maybe explain, so I don't do all the talking. Maybe Jamilia, you want to explain a bit about what the article is about?
Sure. So the article tries to address issues in the decentralized dispute resolution environment, very specifically. So it would cover like market challenges, legal issues, some moral questions, technical, of course. And we have so many people contributing to this document. It's amazing. It's looking very big now, but hopefully, we'll be able to tailor it up so it would be engaging to read to anyone, regardless of their lack or maybe knowledge in some technical issues, or maybe they have some interest in KLEROS. And because there are many questions that are being discussed, some of the questions are already answered, but I think we didn't have like all of those kind of recurring questions answered in one place, so to speak. And yes, it's very helpful because we have so many people like William, Federico, of course, Abir, Jan, me, and Guamian. So there are a lot of different perspectives. Hopefully, once it's done and published, you'll find it interesting to read. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, maybe Abir, you have something to add to this?
Hey, what's up, guys? Funnily enough, I'm just working on that article right now as this call is going on. I just finished writing a 3-comment rant to one of Federico's.
Yeah, I read that already.
I want to read that later, but that's
I'm going to answer. Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually quite an interesting thing we're working on. We've got a series of different perspectives, and we're trying to look at all of the issues from multiple areas and domains that KLEROS might touch upon. And so I think the idea here is to turn this thing we're working on into a first stop for anyone who thinks they have an idea on something new they can build on KLEROS, or something that they can research. This might be like the first repository that they visit to give them the ideas, because we've basically gone all out trying to identify all the weaknesses and all the shortcomings that KLEROS has, but at the same time also looking at its potential, at its strength. So if anyone here listening, maybe you may be a builder, you may be a researcher, you may be some journalist who wants to sort of delve into KLEROS and identify criticisms of it. This is going to be like sort of a repository for you to come and do your initial research and possibly see how you can work for them. Whether you're anti-KLEROS, you're pro-KLEROS, doesn't really matter. So I think this will be an interesting piece of work that we, produce. It's getting quite unwieldy at the moment, so we might have to, burn the midnight oil. At least I do. I don't know about the others, but it's fun. So don't worry. We've got something interesting in store for you.
I mean, if you're in anti-KLEROS, it should, turn you into a KLEROS believer. I mean, I'm just.
Oh, let's hope so.
I'm just going to read one sentence one of the article, which was amazing when I wrote it. I mean, I was doing research of what are the use cases that were proposed. I mean, and listen to this. This is one of the sentences of the paper. So, a wide number of use cases of decentralized justice have been proposed in the fields of oil and gas arbitration, domain name dispute, translation freelancing, peer-to-peer energy networks, traceability, civil family courts, leasing contracts, online marketplaces, crowdfunding financing, sports, online gaming, innovation management, real-world asset tokenization, decentralized finance compliance, social media moderation, NFT marketplaces, copyright, insurance, DAO governance, universal basic income distribution, and prediction markets. How's that? I mean, that's a bunch of applications we have there. And you know, if you have been following the project from the beginning, though, so you might, you know, some of those, and you might remember. Not all of those, of course, are low-hanging fruits or might work in the short term, but I mean, for sure, some of them will. Yeah, and it was really exciting for me to write this thing. Okay, so we have that as well. Well, William is also participating, so I'm of course going to let him add his thing here and also make his weekly update. I know you're all here for him. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's been fun to contribute to that paper. I echo what people said about how interesting it is at different points of view and different perspectives. So I've tried to contribute my technical perspective and questions around sort of research challenges. Other than that, the kinds of research that I've been working a lot on recently still involve SBTs, so bound tokens, and how they could potentially be used in juror selection processes. So for those of you who haven't heard me give this spiel before, in the next version of the court, we have been considering using sort of like a proof of humanity screen. So in some courts, in order to be drawn as a juror, you need to be on proof of humanity, and then you can use this civil resistance mechanism to limit people to one vote per address in a way that isn't manipulable, that you can't just get like more addresses to get more votes. And I like an extension of this idea that has sort of been provoked by the sort of broader discussion around it, like soulbound tokens in the Ethereum community, is what if we have like maybe like intermediate appeal courts that draw from different kinds of jurors that we want to have special qualifications, like in order to be a juror in some court, maybe you need to have some badge on, like an extension of proof of humanity, saying that you are an expert in whatever. And then when we get into an appeal court that has like a mix of different perspectives that are kind of related, but like each their own thing, if you want to achieve balance between these different perspectives, you could try to like draw in such a way that you draw for balance rather than like with perfect randomness. And this is similar to a perspective that the people that propose soulbound tokens, so Vitalik and the guy that invented quadratic financing and this person from Flashbots, it uses a similar mechanism to how they think about kind of rebalancing quadratic funding to give extra weight to things that have support from lots of different kinds of communities. So we've been thinking about kind of like how I generalize their models and how they could be applied to KLEROS, and then kind of to, as an extension to civil resistance mechanisms more generally.
Thank you, William. So that's another thing. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that talk at DevCon. We are also seeing what side event we will do during DevCon. Well, I mean, still internally discussing and yeah, seeing the options. So if you are going to DevCon, we would love to meet you guys. So then we have, of course, as you know, V2. I don't see JB here. So we are now advancing as every week. We are also really starting to plan when we can show you a new updated alpha version as we did last time. We are trying to do that like from here in a couple of weeks from here. Still some things to polish around the edges, and so. But I will ask JB to give his update in writing a bit later. So because I can see he's here. Okay, so we have that. Linguo. As you know, we have a product manager for Linguo, Arjun. Very soon there will be a number of new work to be presented into the platform for translators to work on them and try to earn money by translating, and also for challengers to challenge them if they don't think the quality is good enough, and for jurors to resolve potential challenges that are sent their way. So that's cool as well. Let me see, what else do we have? Then a bunch of different conversations, but of which I can't still mention too much for integrations, but it's not public yet. I don't know, Jean, do you have any? I mean, we have a couple of a bunch of Twitter Spaces, and yeah, I will let Jean give this update about that.
Yes, I only want to share that we had like a program. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't have my headphones right now. Okay. We have a couple of guides that are available right now on DoDAO and Project Galaxy. So if you see a lot of new people like tagging KLEROS and Proof of Humanity, they are coming from these guides. There is one about the arbitrable standard, and one for how to be a juror, and two about Proof of Humanity, being a Proof of Humanity ambassador, and also a crowdfunding campaign. So if you don't have the deposit for Proof of Humanity, you can just complete the guide and join the KLEROS Discord group, and we can help you getting registered. And also there are some possible interesting campaigns that we can launch in the future because of this integration. So I'm personally very excited with that. Like Guambian has been working on this, but I think we can continue to do these types of campaigns and get people to know more KLEROS and more different parts of KLEROS with these guides. And I was active on Twitter Spaces in the Spanish community yesterday, actually on Monday, and we also are having a Proof of Humanity election right now for the mission board, and there's a candidate that I personally like, and he's a developer at KLEROS as well, which is Green. He has made a couple of proposals on Proof of Humanity, one for lowering the deposits that required him to make some calculations with William George's equations, and this will probably lower the deposit to almost a half of where it is now. And also other proposals to make cyber resistance more like a focus of Proof of Humanity, and making the governance process more simple and easier to implement. So yes, I think that's, and also we were mentioned by CB Insights today, and this seems to be like a very, this is like a very a very big outlet for insights about technology, and I believe that Federico knows more about this publication, but it's very cool that we were mentioned, like we had the whole part about dispute resolution is dedicated to KLEROS.
Yeah, so CB Insights is like all like already firm of market intelligence, and they conduct all the time, analysis of different markets and technologies and everything. And so they published 2 days ago an article called "What is Web3? How a Decentralized Internet Could Upend the Digital Economy." And I mean, they mentioned, this is coming from like writers and to an audience that it's not, blockchain, it's natives. This is for like business people and investors and executives. This is the type of people that consume this information. And they mention, as the most salient points of Web3. You can read the article. I would share it, but it's like Filecoin, the Graph, you have Uniswap, OpenSea, Axie Infinity, and of course KLEROS as the main, and the only basically place for a project doing distributed solution on Web3. So this is an amazing place to be with really important other projects. So it's awesome. Yeah, and I got like 5 or 7 emails from different people. Hey, I read that KLEROS was mentioned on CD Insight, so this is pretty cool. Okay, so we have that. That just came 2 days ago. And then let me see, what else do we have? I think I will let Annabelle, maybe you have something to mention.
Hi guys. The main update for you is to stay tuned to our event at DevCon, which is starting to look good, which is probably going to be a co-host again. We are trying to get something, to bring something in the afternoon of Wednesday, 12th of October, during the DevCon, sorry. And this is not, I cannot really tell you more than this, but again, we're trying to co-host some party and some afternoon event for you guys. So let's meet at DevCon. I cannot tell you who is going to partner up with us, but this is definitely a cooperation I'm excited about.
Cool. Well, we have that. And I think I don't have too much more. We should get back to the article with Abir and Jamilia now. Okay. But maybe a little Age of Empires game in the middle, but then yeah, definitely getting back to finish this as soon as possible.
Don't worry, I'll be going to bed in 3 hours.
Okay. Any questions, guys, you might have? Well, okay. Well, then, guys, see you on Telegram, and those who are going to play today, well, see you on the battleground. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. They're all clickable. Very nice.